Hey everyone, before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. It'll really help the channel out a lot. So as I stated in a previous video, I just picked up a Nintendo Switch. When I had one before, I usually used the Pro Controller as my main choice. But this time, I wanted to be a little bit more adventurous. When I went to get my Switch, I noticed quite a few third-party controllers in stock. They had some first-party controllers too, but I've gotten Hori products before and I generally like them. When the Switch first came out, I had the standard Hori Switch controller, which is as bare bones as can be, but I like the overall feel of it. I also have the Hori style GameCube controller too. When I saw this one at first, the price tag of $60 threw me off, since that's nearly the price of a standard Nintendo Pro controller. But that said, I bought it anyway to put it to the test and see if it's a viable alternative. Well, is it? Okay, so unboxing the controller is as simple as can be. Not too much packaging, but there's a little bit of plastic there. So I believe you can go get this controller, at least in America. I don't know about Europe, but I assume you can. I saw it on Amazon, but the packaging is actually different. The US version's kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit boring. It's more of that uniform Switch packaging, whereas here it's got its own unique sort of thing going. Overall, I have to say I'm a huge fan of the design, and that's why I wanted to get these in the first place. There's a couple others as well, but the Mario design is pretty cool, and it's a little striking, so I thought it was pretty well done overall. But how does it actually feel in your hands, though? Well, it's certainly light, for one thing. I was a bit surprised at how light it is, and at first I have to say it feels a bit cheap, but I think it's because I'm used to the Pro controller, or even the Xbox One controller, which is the same kind of shape, but these are much heftier and they feel a little bit more premium. Now, of course, I have to say there's nothing wrong with having a lightweight controller, and over a long stretch it's probably a lot better for you, but it's just something that I noticed right away. I do like these grips on the side of the controller though, and these feel really nice and they keep the controller from slipping out of your hands. When I tried pairing the controller at first, it was a bit of a pain. It didn't want to seem to cooperate, but I eventually got it to work after fidgeting with the wire and the sync button. And we're off to the races. So first thing I tried was Dragon Ball FighterZ, since I just got it on a holiday sale. But right away, I definitely noticed that when I tried to push the control stick to the left, the dead zone, I think, of the stick feels a bit big. So the precise movement was hard. So, what do I mean by that? Well, let's look at Janemba here, and when I tried dashing back, so pressing left on the control stick, it took a couple tries to do so. But usually I'm playing fighting games with D-pads or a fight stick, so I tried that a little bit and it works just fine. But more on that in a little bit. And so besides Dragon Ball, I've been playing Super Mario 3D All-Stars and Mario 64 in particular. I ran through the entire game using this controller. And here again, I noticed the movement felt a bit off, but to be fair, this could just be me not being used to the controller itself or playing on the Switch. When I play Mario 64, it's with an original N64 controller, a Hori pad, or a Tribute 64. So these have their own sticks, of course, they're all different from each other, but I'm more used to those. So I think trying another new stick was just, maybe I just needed some time to adjust. Alright, so going back to that dead zone thing, again, I don't know if this is just me, but it didn't bother me in Mario moving left or right because you're kind of pushing the stick out far anyway, but when I was going up and down, the stick seems sensitive, so Mario sort of veered off the straight path a little bit, more so than I thought he would. And yes, again, this is down to me moving my thumb ever so slightly, but I was kind of surprised at how high the sensitivity felt when I was doing that. But when it was all said and done, it was a good experience. Finished the game up, and I'd gotten used to using the controller. And so then after that, I wanted to test the D-pad a bit more, so I played some games on the Famicom and Super Famicom apps, along with some Sonic 1. And right off the bat, I felt this way with FighterZ, and it confirmed it when I was playing the actual games. I love this D-pad. It's perfect for my hands, and coupled with the buttons, I had a great time playing these games. I even played a lot of Mario 35 too, and that was a lot of fun. And this is also a little petty minor gripe, but the triggers themselves are, well, they kind of stick out on the back. It's not really that big of a deal, but it kind of, if you like miss the button or something like that, you kind of like hit your finger up against it. Kind of hurts. They're a little pointy. So I thought that was an interesting design choice, since usually those are rounded off or completely solid. There was one more thing I wanted to get to, and that was the gyro capabilities, since it's prominently advertised on the back of the box. And so for this, I went back to Mario 3D Collection and I booted up Super Mario Galaxy. And thankfully, the gyro works perfectly, and I had no problem selecting choices from the menu or picking up star bits. So I generally try to stick to first-party controllers, since they offer the most functionality when it comes to games. After all, these are the controllers that the games are designed around for the most part, and there's nothing worse than when you buy a controller and it doesn't work with important titles in your library. Everything seems to work fine, so I imagine this has near 100% compatibility with the Switch's library. If there are any titles that don't work, be sure to let me know in the comments. If I have to plug this into the RSR rating meter, I'd have to give it maybe 3 stars out of 5. It's really solid overall as a package. It works well most of the time, but it's a bit too lightweight for me. And for the price it went for, I think that works against it too. At this current price range, it's already close to Nintendo's own offering. However, it'll be my main controller from here on out, so my opinion on the matter might change, but for now, these are my thoughts a few weeks in. What do you guys think though? Do you usually go for first party, or do you prefer third party controllers? Would you be interested in picking this controller up? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks again for watching.